The space station drift point moved through the dark like a quiet city made of steel and light. It floated between trade routes where many species passed each cycle. Humans had joined the wider alliance only a few years ago. They were still learning the rules. Others were still learning about them. Tom lived in a small room near the outer maintenance ring. His work was simple but important. He checked air systems, power lines, and pressure doors. Humans were trusted with these tasks because they noticed small problems before they became big ones. That was something other species slowly came to respect. Tom was asleep when the station lights dimmed for the rest cycle. The hum of systems was normal. The air temperature was steady. Nothing felt wrong. Then his eyes opened. Someone was standing near the wall. Tom did not move at first. He had learned during his years in space that panic solved nothing. He took a breath and focused his eyes. The figure was tall and thin. Her skin was pale blue, smooth like polished stone. Her eyes reflected light softly, not sharp or threatening. She did not move. Tom slowly sat up in his bed. "You are in my room," he said calmly. The figure tilted her head slightly. A translator band rested on her neck, glowing faintly. "Yes," she replied. Her voice was even and clear. "This is correct." Tom blinked. That was not the answer he expected. "I mean," Tom said, choosing his words carefully, "why are you in my room?" The alien woman stepped forward one slow pace and stopped. She held a flat data slate against her chest. "My name is Ree," she said. "I was instructed to seek you." Tom rubbed his eyes and made sure this was real. It was. "Seek me for what reason?" he asked. Ree looked at the data slate, then back at him. "For the cleansing." Tom paused. "The what?" "The cleansing," Ree repeated. "Before diplomatic engagement." Tom sat there, silent for a moment. His mind worked quickly. This was not an attack. Her posture was neutral. Her tone was respectful. Something else was happening. "There must be a mistake," Tom said. "Humans do not perform cleansing rituals for visitors." Ree frowned slightly. "The data says that humans show highest respect by personal involvement in preparation rituals." Tom slowly stood and reached for his station jacket. He made sure his movements were slow and clear. "Ree," he said, "how did you enter my room?" "The door responded to my request," she answered. "Your security level allowed access." Tom sighed quietly. That was a problem he would report later. "Let us take a step back," Tom said. "No one should enter a sleeping area without permission." Ree looked confused. The data did not state this restriction. Tom nodded. "That explains a lot." He gestured toward the small table and chair. "Please sit." Ree hesitated, then complied. Tom leaned against the wall and crossed his arms, keeping distance. "Ree," he said, "who told you to come to me?" "The Cultural Exchange Archive," she replied. It recommended a human with maintenance clearance and low conflict history. Tom let out a short breath. "That sounds like me." Ree continued. "My people believe that trust is built through shared preparation. Cleansing before words is tradition." Tom considered this carefully. Humans had their own traditions, but they changed them often. Adaptation was how they survived. "I think the archive misunderstood something," Tom said. "Humans believe in cleanliness, but we do not perform it for others directly." Ree looked down at her slate. "Then the data is incomplete." "Yes," Tom agreed. "But that does not mean we cannot fix this." Ree looked up. "You are willing to assist?" Tom nodded. "Yes. In the correct way." He pointed toward the door. "There is a hygiene chamber nearby. It is designed for all species." Ree stood. "You will guide me." I will explain, Tom corrected. You will perform the process yourself. Ree seemed to think about this. This is acceptable. They walked through the quiet corridor. Station lights glowed softly. Other doors remained closed. The night cycle was still active. As they walked, Ree asked, "Are humans always calm when interrupted during rest?" Tom smiled slightly. "No. But we learn when calm matters." The hygiene chamber doors opened automatically. The room was wide, clean, and adjustable. Symbols on the walls shifted to match Ree's biology. "This place adapts quickly," Ree said. "So do humans," Tom replied. He explained each system in simple terms. Water temperature control. Air flow. Cleaning fields. Safety limits. Ree listened carefully. "You do not fear misunderstanding," she said. "We fear it," Tom answered honestly. "That is why we work to prevent it." Ree stepped into the chamber. "Your method values independence." "It does," Tom said. "Respect means giving others control." Ree paused. "This differs from many species." Tom nodded. "We noticed." After the process was complete, Ree stepped out, looking thoughtful. "The cleansing is complete," she said. "Good," Tom replied. "Now we can talk like equals." They sat outside the chamber. Ree spoke first. "Humans are new, yet trusted." "We earn it," Tom said. "Without force," she added. "Without need," Tom answered. Ree recorded the exchange. "This will update the archive." "Please do," Tom said. When Ree left, Tom returned to his room. He reported the access issue and wrote a cultural note for the station council. He then lay back on his bed, staring at the ceiling. Humanity did not win through strength alone. They won through understanding. And sometimes, that began in the middle of the night. The morning cycle began on Drift Point Station with soft light flowing through the long corridors. Ships from many systems docked and undocked as they always did. Traders moved cargo. Engineers checked systems. Diplomats prepared for meetings. Everything looked normal on the surface. But something had changed. In the Central Council chamber, a quiet tension filled the air. Representatives from 12 species sat around the circular platform. Holographic screens floated above the table, displaying logs from the station network. One recording played again and again. It showed a human named Tom calmly speaking with the alien envoy Ree. It showed patience, clarity, and respect. It showed no fear, no anger, and no demand for control. For many watching, this was unexpected. The Varka delegate leaned forward. His species valued strict order and ritual. The human did not follow the instruction, he said. Yet the outcome was successful. The Seleuan observer tilted her head. He corrected the error without offense. Without submission, another added. Ree stood at the center of the chamber. Her posture was formal. Her voice was steady. The fault was not human behavior, she said. The fault was incomplete data. The human responded with care. A low murmur spread through the room. Humans had been classified as adaptable but unstable. Creative but emotional. Useful but risky. This incident challenged that view. Back in the maintenance ring, Tom worked as usual. He checked pressure seals and recalibrated air filters. No one told him about the meeting yet. That was how station life worked. If something did not affect your job directly, you found out later. As he worked, he noticed more eyes on him. Not hostile. Curious. A pair of technicians from another species paused as he passed. A trade officer nodded in greeting. This was new. Tom felt it but did not react. Humans learned early that attention could fade as fast as it came. Later that cycle, Tom received a message request. It was from Station Command. He arrived at a smaller meeting room near the central ring. Ree was there, along with Commander Hale, a human officer assigned to Alliance coordination. "Tom," Hale said, "thank you for coming." Tom nodded. "Of course." Ree inclined her head. "Your actions have gained attention." Tom frowned slightly. "That was not my goal." "That may be why it matters," Hale said. They sat. Hale activated a screen. It showed analysis reports, cultural response graphs, alliance discussion threads. Many species assumed humans would react poorly to unexpected contact, Hale explained. "You did not." Tom thought back to the night. "I was confused." "But confusion does not require force." Ree looked at him. "This belief is rare." Tom shrugged. "Maybe. But it works." Hale leaned forward. "The Council wants to revise human classification. They are considering humans for expanded roles." Tom raised an eyebrow. "Because of one night." "Because of what that night showed," Ree corrected. The meeting ended quickly. Tom returned to work. But the ripple continued. Across the station, discussions changed. Humans were invited into planning rooms more often. Asked for opinions. Not commands, opinions. Other species began to notice patterns. Humans asked questions before acting. They adapted systems for shared use. They accepted mistakes without blame. This made some uncomfortable. The Krell delegation, known for rigid hierarchy, expressed concern. "Humans do not follow established dominant structures," their report stated. "They negotiate them," another species replied. That difference mattered. A few cycles later, a problem emerged. A cargo transfer hub malfunctioned. It was not dangerous yet, but it could become serious if ignored. Automated systems flagged it as low priority. The design was alien-based, complex and rule-bound. Maintenance teams hesitated. Only specialists from the hub's originating species were authorized to intervene. They were unavailable. Time passed. Pressure levels began to shift. Tom noticed the readings during a routine scan. He frowned. "This should not be drifting," he said quietly. He sent a report. It returned with an automated response. "Wait for authorized personnel." Tom did not like waiting when physics did not care about permission. He contacted his supervisor. "I think this needs attention now," Tom said. "You are not authorized for that system," came the reply. Tom nodded, even though no one could see him. "Request temporary access," he said. There was a pause. "Denied," the reply came. "Protocol." Tom stared at the numbers. They continued to move. He took a breath. Then he did something humans often did. He asked a different question. Instead of asking for access to the system, he asked for permission to prevent risk to shared infrastructure. That request went to a broader authority. Within minutes, Ree appeared in the control room, along with two other delegates. "You detected instability," Ree said. "Yes," Tom replied. "It is small, but growing." The other delegate looked at the data. "The design assumes constant conditions." "Space does not care about assumptions," Tom said. Ree turned to the control panel. "Grant him access." The system protested. Warnings flashed. Human hands moved across the interface with careful speed. Tom did not rewrite the system. He adjusted it. Added buffers. Redirected load. Simple solutions built on observation. The pressure stabilized. A potential crisis ended quietly. Silence filled the room. "You acted without full authority," the delegate said. "I acted with responsibility," Tom answered. Ree nodded. "There is a difference." The incident spread even faster than the first. Humans were no longer seen only as adaptable. They were seen as reliable under uncertainty. That night, reports across the Alliance changed tone. Human behavior analysis updated. Risk factor lowered. Trust factor increased. Still, not everyone was pleased. Some species thrived on clear dominance. Humans did not fit easily into those models. They do not challenge directly, one report stated. They changed the game by solving it. That scared some. Back in his room, Tom sat quietly, reviewing the day. He had not planned to stand out. But humanity never planned its greatest moments. They happened when someone chose calm over fear. Understanding over pride. Action over permission when it mattered. Far beyond Drift Point, other stations began reviewing human crews differently. Not as unpredictable newcomers. But as problem solvers. As builders. As equals. And the galaxy was starting to realize something important. Humans did not need to dominate to matter. They mattered because when things went wrong, they stepped forward. Part 2 ended with the Alliance watching more closely than ever. And humans, still unaware of how much was changing, kept doing what they always did. They fixed what they could. They learned what they could not. And they moved forward. Drift Point Station entered a high-activity cycle. Ships arrived in greater numbers than usual. Flags and signals from many species filled the docking lanes. The Alliance Council had called a full assembly. This did not happen often. The reason was simple. Humans. For cycles, data had been collected. Small actions. Calm responses. Quiet problem solving. No grand speeches. No demands for power. Yet again and again, humans appeared at the center of resolved issues. The council chamber filled slowly. Representatives took their places. Ree stood among them, her expression thoughtful. Screens around the room displayed summaries of recent events. At the center of one display was Tom. He was shown adjusting systems, speaking calmly, listening carefully. Tom himself was not present yet. He was still working. In the maintenance ring, Tom tightened a panel seal and checked his tablet. A message notification blinked. Summons to council chamber. Priority level high. Tom stared at it for a moment. That is new, he said quietly. He cleaned his hands, changed into a standard uniform, and headed toward the central ring. As he walked, he noticed the station felt different. Not louder. Not brighter. But focused. As if everyone was waiting for something. When Tom entered the chamber, all eyes turned to him. He stopped. I think I am in the wrong room, he said. A few delegates made sounds of amusement. Commander Hale stood and gestured. You are in the right room. Tom walked forward slowly. He stood near the center platform, suddenly aware of how many beings were watching him. Ree stepped forward. Tom, she said, you are here as a representative. Tom frowned. I am not trained for that. You are experienced, Ree replied. That is more valuable. The council leader spoke. A large figure with layered armor and calm eyes. Human Tom, the leader said, your actions have influenced Alliance stability. Tom took a breath. I only did my job. That response is noted, the leader said. The leader continued. The Alliance has long measured worth by strength, territory, and obedience to structure. Several delegates shifted. Humans do not fit this model, the leader said. Yet evidence shows humans increase system stability. A screen displayed statistics. Fewer incidents. Faster resolutions. Improved cooperation where humans were involved. Tom looked at the data, then back at the council. What is the question? He asked. The leader paused. The question is whether humanity should be given a greater role. Murmurs filled the chamber. The Krell delegate stood. Humans act without full adherence to protocol. Tom nodded. Sometimes protocols are slow. That is dangerous, the delegate said. It can be, Tom agreed. So is ignoring reality. Silence followed. Another delegate spoke. Humans adapt systems not designed for them. Tom nodded again. We adapt ourselves too. Ree stepped forward. Humans respect difference without demanding sameness. The council leader raised a hand. Human Tom, the leader said, how does your species define strength? Tom thought carefully. Strength, he said, is not forcing others to move your way. He looked around the chamber. It is moving when needed, even if no one told you to. Some delegates leaned forward. Humans survived on a difficult world, Tom continued. Not because we were strongest. Because we learned. We failed. We adjusted. The Krell delegate spoke again. And if adjustment fails? Tom answered without pause. Then we adjust again. A quiet spread through the chamber. The leader nodded slowly. Humanity has requested no expansion, the leader said. No authority. That is true, Hale said. Yet authority follows capability, the leader said. The council called for a recess. Tom was escorted to a waiting room. He sat alone, hands folded, heart steady but alert. He did not know what would happen. But he knew one thing. He had told the truth. After some time, the doors opened. Ree entered. The decision is made, she said. Tom stood. And the Alliance will create a new role, Ree said. Human mediators and system stewards. Tom blinked. That sounds important. It is responsibility, Ree corrected. Not control. Tom smiled faintly. That sounds like us. The announcement spread quickly across Drift Point and beyond. Humans were assigned to mixed teams. Not as leaders by rank, but as anchors of cooperation. Some species resisted at first. Then results followed. Trade routes stabilized. System failures dropped. Disputes resolved faster. Humans listened. Humans explained. Humans stepped in when needed and stepped back when not. On Drift Point, a new plaque was installed near the central ring. It read simply. Humanity. Known for adaptation under pressure. Tom walked past it one day and paused. I did not ask for that, he said to Ree, who stood beside him. You earned it, she replied. Tom looked around the station. Different species. Different voices. Shared space. This is bigger than me, he said. It always was, Ree answered. Far across the Alliance, reports continued to arrive. Humans were not perfect. They made mistakes. They argued. They questioned everything. But when things broke, they fixed them. When systems failed, they learned why. When misunderstandings arose, they spoke calmly. The galaxy learned a lesson. Humanity did not rise by conquest. They rose by being useful when it mattered most. By staying calm in the middle of the night. By choosing understanding over fear. And by proving that strength could be quiet, steady, and shared. Drift Point continued its journey through the stars. And humanity took its place. Not above others. But among them. Stronger together.